What up, Buzz? You tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things. MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong. History, and we good on that. Put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1. Everybody say Bulls on tap. Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty. Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery. Nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news. Go and subscribe. Hang out with Buzzy and Goose. Tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I'm your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Goose, aka Bulls Scripted. We are here after another Chicago Bulls win, 124-109 against the Indiana Pacers. Before we get into this one, be sure to go on TapSportsNet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap and on Tap Sportsnet. Following Goose at Bulls Scripted, me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review, because that's cool and tough. Also, if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, we thank you for watching, but go over to the YouTube. I know it's a lot to ask, but go over to the YouTube, on Tap Sportsnet in the search bar, hit the subscribe button, the little bell, so every time we go live after a Bulls game, you will be notified, because that's cool and tough, and then you can hop in here in the comment section. Hey, man, we beat that ass. I don't care if they kind of came back like a little bit and scared me a little bit.
We're just going to ignore the third quarter.
Yeah,
That sounds like a fair plan to me, because I enjoyed the rest of the game. Even the third quarter was enjoyable in the sense that it made the game worth watching because there was still a game to watch.
Right.
So in a way, I'm glad the Pacers came out to play in the third, because then we had a semi-eventful fourth. So thank you, Indiana, for showing up to play for one of the four quarters.
It's always very important to remember, like we said in the last show, that there's 48 minutes in a basketball game. And as my father-in-law always likes to say, I don't watch till the fourth quarter because that's when it gets exciting. That's what he always says, and it pisses me off. But he's not wrong. He's usually not.
That's logic. I mean, I enjoy the game enough to watch the other three, but the logic is pretty sound there.
Yeah, it is. Bulls start off hot in this game. I mean, just pretty much unbelievable. They were doing a lot of things well. They're moving without the ball well. The first quarter, they didn't turn the ball over at all. Very cohesive. Outscore Indiana 38-27 there in the first quarter. Just started off really great. And they carried that over into the second quarter. 2 straight quarters of scoring 38 points. They go into halftime with a pretty big lead. Like you said, the third quarter, Buddy Hield caught fire, started hitting threes left and right, pissing me off. But the Bulls close it out in the fourth and do what they need to do.
Every night is a Lakers audition for Buddy Hield.
And Miles Turner, too. God damn, Miles Turner with the blocks. How many blocks he have tonight? 4.
As a team, I think they had 11 or 12.
12. They had 12 as a team. They had 12. Yeah. They've got some good pieces over there, man. It was really
players. Is it Jalen Smith?
Yeah, Jalen Smith. Yeah,
from the Suns.
Yeah,
dude's gonna be a player. I mean, it's making it kind of easy to trade Turner with him in the pipeline, especially if you're trying to go after somebody like Victor in the draft.
Right.
So no, the Pacers are another kind of young team that are going to be a little dangerous down the road. Almost snuck up on us tonight in the third. But other than that quarter, the Bulls did handle this game the way they were supposed to. The veteran team. My player of the game has to be the Dragon. No, I was trying to think game ball.
Game ball. Yeah, I know. I actually have to go with you here. I mean, if you watch the highlights on the NBC broadcast, I know you always watch the opposing team's broadcast, but watching the highlights, it was nothing but Drummond and Dragic. And I mean, it was just a little bit of Javonte Green power hour mixed into there. But Dragic, man, off the bench, 13 points in 16 minutes, had 5 assists, 2 rebounds. He was a plus 19, led the team. Absolutely amazing. Another showing from the bench that win us this game. Seriously, because that third quarter steroid kick the Pacers got almost took us out. And the bench unit came in again featuring Zach LaVine, who we'll get into in a little bit.
I find it rather curious that when the shit's hitting the fan, Billy calls on Javante and Caruso, and then you had Drummond, Dragic, and LaVine out there. But your two dogs are on the floor when the tough gets going. And despite Pat having a pretty assertive good game, we didn't see too much of him to close again. He started the game. He started the second half.
That was it.
But to close, we didn't really see much.
Yeah, we got a message here from Greg. He said, how did P-Will look? Box score, not terrible. And you know what? Besides like the first shot of the game that he took when he kind of had that little breakaway and then he got fouled, like he didn't really get fouled, but he threw the ball behind his head. It didn't really work out well for him. That was the only bad part of his game, really. Again, no rebounds in 15 minutes. That's just fucking terrible. But 15 minutes, 4 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from downtown, 10 points for Patrick Williams tonight, 2 assists, 2 steals. Yeah, he looked the best that he has so far this season. This is a season high in points for him. He lost minutes again. In his best performance of the season, he lost minutes to Javante Green. And I don't really know what else to say.
Maybe it was just me. Pat looked a little gassed. In that third, when the Pacers were making that run, Pat looked a little gassed. He had a couple of questionable possessions on both ends. I don't know if getting a little bit more run after, being standstill Pat, as our boy CBE Fred likes to call him. Pat having to run tonight.
That one's good.
No, that one is pretty good. But Pat looked a little gassed. That would be the only negative I have to say about Pat tonight, because other than that, the game he played was definitely a lot more appealing and effective, and he contributed tonight. It didn't feel like he was out of place. Still don't know that he should be being gifted these starts, and I guess, the classic phrase is it's not who starts but who finishes, and right now we're not seeing Pat finish. So I don't know what message that's sending to the young man at the same time, because I trust you to start when we have the guys behind you that can make up for the mistakes, because we've got another, 36 minutes to play. But to close the game, Pat doesn't seem to have Billy's trust, and I wonder how that works itself out to finish, out the season. When
I think it comes down to play style, Goose. It just comes down to play style. If you have Javante, I know this sounds weird, because like I never fall in love with players that are ended. Like I was not a David Nwaba guy. Like everybody loved David Nwaba. By everybody, I mean the people that think they know everything. Like David Nwaba a lot. Like I don't really get it. Like, but Javante, he literally just breaks everything up. And that's the thing about him. Like if it's offense, it does not matter. He finds a way to be effective. Like 2 of his field goals out of his 4 tonight were like coming through for putbacks. Like, you know what I mean? And then he had that nasty oop from Dragic. The guy is just everywhere.
The one that he dropped from Zach was going to be even better than the one from Dragic.
Yeah, but that Dragic one, he got up
there. The timing on that Dragic one.
He got
all
up there
tonight watching the Dragon dish out these dimes and find the runners and these little drop-offs. Like, he's a fucking magician. I mean, he's old man gaming his way through. Obviously, the Pacers are playing a bunch of young guys who've never seen these moves, so it was easier to pull them off. But he is playing at his pace, and as a backup point guard for this team, him and Drummond are looking like massive steals.
Well, dude, no, it's been so fun. I was just about to say that. Like, Drummond tonight, Goose, 17 minutes, 4 for 8 from the field, 50%. Okay, so, he's at 46% for the season so far. He's going to get that up to his career average. He doesn't take a lot of long shots. He's going to get that up. But 50% from the field tonight, 8 points, 13 rebounds, an assist, and a steal in 17 minutes. Plus 16. Fun fact, he was second on the team, tied for third on the team in the best plus minus tonight at plus 16. Only one starter tonight finished plus in the plus minus. Can you guess who that was?
Zach LaVine?
Yes, it was. Zach LaVine at plus 12.
No,
this bench unit featuring Zach's been great.
No, and Zach got to play off ball most of the night too. He didn't have to overwork on the offensive end. He kind of got to use the gravity of his other teammates and pick his spots off the ball. and he got to the line a good amount of times as well. So Zach played a really smart game, didn't have to overplay, still kind of working back from this injury. And to see him so quietly have, did he end up breaking 30 or did he finish with 28?
28. So he had 28 on 13 shots in 35 minutes. He went 10 for 12 from the free throw line. He was 6 for 8 from downtown. So every shot he hit was a 3 tonight. For Zach, the problem I have with Zach right now and what concerns me is this is a typical max contract Zach LaVine line, right? Except the volume of shots to get to the points. My issue right now is not the stat line, it's watching him. And what I mean by that is, man, I don't see the lift. I don't see the explosiveness off the dribble. I'm a little nervous that something's not 100% right. I know he scored a lot tonight, and I'm happy about that. But he doesn't look like end of 2020, 2021 or beginning of 2021, 2022 Zach to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can see what you're saying. The first,
and I'm not mad at him. He's still being effective.
The first game back, he looked like he had fresh legs, and we saw a really good game from him out the gate. 2 in between, a little kind of shaky. And tonight he had the numbers, but I know what you mean. I felt like he was looking for a call a little bit too much on the drive when he really just didn't quite have the looks on the drive that he needed, and he got plenty of calls. But then there was that moment in the third where he thought he was on a heater and he took that kind of cutesy fader that kind of had me a little salty too.
The air ball?
No, it wasn't the air ball. I think that one was a little bit more shot clock forced, but he just took a cutesy fader after hitting that really long logo.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
I'm with you. It was forced. It was unnecessary, and it was kind of the start of the Pacers' run there because the momentum swung. They're like, oh, they're not taking us serious anymore. Let's go. And obviously you can get a little cute, but that's not really the look that I want from Zach when you're trying to come back and get back to form. But overall, you can't complain with the efficiency of the game tonight. Obviously, if he's going to hit that many threes, I'm not too worried.
Yeah, I like how it was. With that being said, I do like how it was well balanced. I'm surprised Vooch only ended up with 10 shot attempts because I believe he had like 6 in the first quarter alone. He went 5 for 10 tonight, 1 for 3 from downtown, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. He had 14.7 rebounds, 4 assists for Vooch tonight. He played a pretty good game, I would say. I mean, he was -1 in the box score, whatever. But I felt like he played a pretty good game. DeMar DeRozan, 7 points away from 20K. Our very own Drew Stevens, I shit you not, I think it was before the season started. Drew Stevens, who writes for On Tap Sportsnet and is the co-host of the Rebuildable podcast, he predicted that DeMar would score 20K in this very game.
Damn.
Which is pretty fucking cool. You know,
it is. To be that close on your prediction. And the only reason that he didn't hit it, if we're honest, is because the Bulls' offense as a whole was so great in the first quarter. I don't think DeMar had any points in that first quarter at all. I don't even think he took a shot because he didn't have to.
They were very well balanced tonight for the most part, and like you said, they got off to such a huge run. He didn't really need to force shit. It just didn't need to happen. Played a lot through Vooch in that first quarter, and then once the bench kind of came in, they started doing their thing. But yeah, Drew almost called that 20K thing, man. That would have been fucking cool if he did. That would have been neat.
No, that definitely would have been a fun little talking point there. But just the fact that DeMar's going to break 20,000 here in the next game, we know he's going to score more than 7 points.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He should get it. He should get it Friday night against San Antonio. Absolutely.
Oh wow, that would be kind of cool too.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Obviously not the Origin, but still an opposing team that you get to rack up a milestone like that on.
Right, somewhere where he felt unappreciated. So that's kind of cool. Because that will be in San Antonio too, which is pretty neat. Io tonight, man. I want to talk a little bit about Io. The reason I want to talk about Io is because didn't have the 20+ point performance. Didn't really shoot lights out. Didn't hurt them at all. Didn't make a 3. But, dude, Io has proven over a couple games this year. He can score when he's called upon and has to be that guy. And he can orchestrate an offense when he has to be that guy. 12 points for Io tonight. 7 assists out of the Bulls' 34 team assists. 4 rebounds. 12 points. 31 minutes. Io DeSumo. pretty awesome stat line for the second-year kid out of Illinois.
Just watching him play, he's not scared of anything.
No,
He's fearless. He's smooth. Watching him run the pick and roll with Vooch, obviously having an all-star as your counterpart in that dance makes it a little bit easier, but he's so comfortable and confident. And the fact that he is more of that drive and kick, true tier of on-ball, half-court style point guard, as Rizzo is more of your connector, your transition style guard. Once we have those two together, the options open up. But the more you look at this team, it does feel like Kobe White and Patrick Williams are very expendable if you want them to be. Kobe, very much so, because he's probably not going to get a contract with Io looking like the clear one that needs to be paid here.
Yeah, I feel bad for Kobe.
I do, because he's a good kid.
Contract year for or trying to get in. He's contract year for him almost, and it's just because he'll be a restricted free agent at the end of the year. Correct? That's what happens for him because they didn't reach the rookie deadline extension deal with him. Going to be hard for him to garnish any sort of real fucking money playing 9 points or 12 points in a game, right?
Yeah, no.
Or minutes.
Sorry, not going to happen. Yeah, 12 points a game. That looks good. Right now, he's looking at a contract based off purely reputation, which is a streaky shooter who can give you 38% 3-point shooting consistently. I don't think. I mean, there's always a market for shooting in this league, but if you're not going to get minutes on a Bulls team that lacks shooting as bad as they do, that's a tough sell around the league.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We'll run through some team stats before we move into the preview for the San Antonio game. Bulls go 43 for 87 for 49.4% from the field, 16 for 30 tonight from downtown, 53%. 22 of 24 from the free throw line, 91% there. 44 to 38 boards. Bulls had 34 assists. They had 5 blocks. They had 18 turnovers. God, they got to clean that shit up. They got to clean the turnovers up. 18 total turnovers. Their largest lead was 24, and they had 46 points in the paint. So that was the Bulls team stats tonight. Moving into Friday's game against the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio. It's a 7:30 tip-off on Friday. Good question here from our boy, Chai Sports fan. So, that's actually didn't click on the right one. This is the right one. Who's starting for Zach on Friday? He doesn't expect Zach to play because the Bulls are going to be going on a back-to-back. They have San Antonio.
And then they have Philadelphia.
And then they've got Philly on Saturday. So he's expecting them not to play.
That's probably a fair bet. Road game against a lesser opponent opposed to a home game against a conference contender. So, Caruso?
I would assume it'll probably be Caruso again just because he started in the games that Zach was unavailable.
Got to be Caruso. Don't think it's going to be Kobe. No, it's not going to be Kobe, really. Would be curious to see Javante maybe slide in there.
Yeah, the two.
Just to go a little bit bigger. I guess that might depend on what San Antonio's lineup looks like. But I don't know. Do you throw the Dragon out there? Do you just say no?
No. I like him coming off my bench.
You think monitoring his minutes and keeping him fresh in this limited role?
Fucking death.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, dude. I don't want. Dragon. I don't want. Dude.
I don't want an old tired dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon. It's a good movie. I really, really enjoy him coming off our bench, man. I owe him a little bit of an apology.
There's really no point.
Yeah, I owe him.
Our preseason talk. We're not even going to talk about that. Our preseason was preseason for us too, and we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah, but I even had an article.
Oh, see, I didn't. And
it wasn't. I wasn't mean, but I kind of scoffed at the notion that he should start ahead of Io.
Well, I mean that's still a fair assessment.
And I said
not so much scoffing, but
right. Like I just kind of was just like, listen, man, like he can't hang with Io. But I was wrong. Look, Dragic is playing really good, man. I'm eating my words a little bit. I'm glad I am. I can own it, and I've been having fun watching him. He's been fucking fantastic. So
no, I mean, for a team that really anything short of KD wasn't going to make us a legitimate contender this offseason, the pieces that we added for the minimum money that had to be spent to get them, I'm feeling pretty good about our additions. Our rotation in general feels pretty solid. Like there's not many holes outside of the lack of elite shooting, but on given nights you're going to have guys shoot better than expected, and that does tend to make up for the gap, especially on a team that hasn't taken many threes.
Right.
So, and then when Zach can put 6 of 8 in the hole, that's fantastic as well.
Did you happen to catch any of the Milwaukee-Boston game that kicked off the NBA Wednesday night tonight?
No, I didn't.
From what I read, it doesn't look like KD missed any of the game. However, he did play 39 minutes. Okay, Simmons didn't either. Simmons played 34 minutes, but I had read that KD might have hurt his shoulder, and then I read that Simmons hurt his back. If anybody knows anything about that, throw it in the chat real quick. I'm not sure, but the Nets are 1-3, and they look like shit, like absolute shit. I'm being 100% honest, and I'm really not trying to go there. The Bulls would beat the fuck out of them right now. I'm not even fucking around. I think the Bulls would fuck them up. Okay. They look terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Those are definitely some strong words.
Have you watched them?
No, I'll be honest, I haven't. I've noticed, at least in the stat watching that I've done of their games, that Ben Simmons likes to foul out a lot without doing a whole bunch.
He only scored 4 points. He had 9 assists. I mean, I don't know. That back surgery or whatever happened to him, that he was way better than this, man. He was good in Philly.
Trust me. I feel you. You look at those 3 guys on a team, and it shouldn't matter who the other 6 to 7 guys in the rotation are. I mean, you could put us in that rotation and generally have.
Yo, I'd be balling like a motherfucker for real, hitting threes and shit. Yeah,
we could just make the Nets the next Heat team. Just white guys that can shoot. I don't know how much I can run, but I can shoot.
I'm fundamental. I'm not athletic. You know what I mean? I'm fundamental. I'm like Pistol Pete or Jerry West out there. That's how I play the game.
You're gonna be like Dragic. You're just gonna foul on defense and light it up on offense.
Yeah, I don't like that above the rim shit. Mostly because I can't play above the rim myself. So that's why I don't like it.
I have never once been above the rim.
I've never once. But you know what? Philly lost again tonight too. Philly's 1-4. It's just so odd. I mean, it's very early. Things are going to change. I know that. But
you'd think these teams with the more veteran players would not be stumbling out the gate. Like, I mean,
it's just, even if the season were to end today, I know it's not going to.
We're 5 games in. If this was it.
if this was it. Miami, Brooklyn, Philly. Okay, well, Miami and Philly wouldn't be in the playoffs, but Brooklyn might be 10th.
At 1-3, they'd be in the play-in?
Yeah, they'd be in the play-in, yeah.
Okay.
hey, it's fucking funny, and he's not wrong. Chi Sports fan isn't wrong, bro. Free throws win games, bro.
No, I mean, he's talking about the DeMar foul.
Yeah, he's talking about Washington, yeah, and that terrible fucking play call at the end of that game. The Bulls could have won that game and been 4-1 right now. Obviously, coulda, woulda, shoulda, bullshit, whatever. But albeit,
I mean, all things considered, we beat 2 Eastern Conference contenders, the 2 teams that we went to the Eastern Conference Finals. We're 2-0 against them, and we beat the team that we were supposed to beat. The 2 teams that are in our tier, we put up solid fights, and we're not going to call the Cavs game a solid fight. That wasn't a good fight.
No, that was fucking terrible. And they should be ashamed of losing to Cleveland like that. Nobody likes fucking Cleveland.
No, nobody should ever lose to Cleveland like that.
No, they shouldn't.
So other than that Cleveland game, I'm not too disappointed to the start of the season. Not feeling any higher or any lower. I had a coworker ask me on the way out the door to go, so the Bulls going to be good? And I was like, probably just good enough to hurt themselves. I said, but we'll probably be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I definitely think that we can.
That's the honest truth. That's my stance on the season. Is like, I'm not going to confidently sit here and lie to you and say that we're a contender because
I got 7 seed.
Yeah, we've got the talent to make some noise in there. Do I think we're going to make a lot of noise? No, but we got enough to have fun and enjoy it and just see what the fuck happens. Because Despite, saying what KD and Simmons and Kyrie are doing over there, I still would have traded everybody on this team for Kevin Durant and Harden.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know it's just Durant over there right now. I mean, he's that kind of talent. Kyrie. I hate Kyrie. He sucks. I've said that on the show a million times. I can't stand watching him play.
Not gonna agree with you there.
You don't have to. You don't have to agree with me. I mean, he's fucking trash. I can't stand. He's overrated. Derrick Rose would have clamped him if he stayed healthy. He would have never done shit. Fuck him. Okay. You know who could guard him? You know who would stop Kyrie Irving?
Chris Dunn.
Kirk Heinrich. All right, I think it's time to go. I'm starting to talk some shit here where people are not going to take us very seriously.
I think we're there. We're starting to lose credibility.
But one more thing before we leave. Have you checked out the Western Conference standings at all?
No.
4-0, Portland Trailblazers.
See, I have seen those snippets. That's the team that did trade for Jeremy Grant, right?
we're definitely gonna go now. We're not getting into this again because that just pissed. I didn't even know what to say. So there was that fucking evil mad laugh that came out. They're just like, "Oh, you want to go there, motherfucker?" That's where
I saw Anthony Simons could not miss the other night, which is looking like trading McCollum isn't going to cost them much at all because you've got an instant replacement there and a secondary flamethrower. So no, Portland. It's looking like they might not have to request a trade. He might be able to get to ride it out there and have a good time. You got somebody like Nasir Little out there who doesn't even play very much. So, Portland will be a fun team to watch this year. West could get a little weird too.
Yeah, it definitely could. I just wish Zion wasn't hurt. I just wish that kid would stop getting hurt so they could play a full season to see what they could actually do there in New Orleans. But we're talking about other teams a little bit too much. Anything else Bulls related before we leave?
Anything else Bulls related before we leave? Billy, I guess you can let Pat start another basketball game, and we'll continue to see where this experiment goes.
Goose got a nice ass house, don't he?
Well, you see, I moved to Finland where Lauri Markkanen used to live because his rookie cards are doing so good on eBay right now that I got bundles of cash. So we're on the other side of the world.
And those are the cards that I texted you earlier. I know we're live on the air and whatever, but though I have 8 or 9 rookie LeBron's diary cards from his rookie season.
Anything rookie LeBron's going to have a price tag. Just make sure that your girls don't mess with the corners.
No, they're at my dad's stashed away. So you're gonna have to come and get them, and we're gonna have to move them.
Nice. All right,
yeah.
We'll figure that out.
All right.
Buzz is gonna have sunshine at 10 p.m. too.
100%, because anywhere Goose is, it's always sunny. Everybody be sure to go on TapSportsNet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap, at On Tap Sportsnets. We'll be back Friday night after the Bulls take on the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio. Let's go, Bulls.